All right, let's do this again and not be as stupid as last night, shall we? It's always funny when you like don't gain any charges with Wolverine Weapon X because it means that you've been like incredibly lucky. Because whenever I'm looking or I'm playing him, I'm often looking at my own charges not going up, and then I look at the opponent and there's like 10 bleeds on them, and I'm like, that would be why. Hey, man. I actually meant to be in Magma, but that's okay. We can switch. Whoa, what just happened? That's my boy. Which trophy champ do I like more? I think I'd still say Jessica. I find playing her the most fun. Hey, Stig, how's it going? Right, there's a reason I didn't use Luke. He's so slow. Hey, SK. Welcome. This is so slow, I should just use somebody else. I really don't like giving up on characters. Ooh, I forgot about the passive stun. Ugh. Hey, Aiden. Omega, welcome. There we go. Just needed some debuffs to stick for a minute. Okay, glad I didn't give up on that. But yeah, that was a terrible RPG counter. Hey, Sans. Best way to farm gold? Long term, arena. Short term, you can get a lot out of incursions very quickly. I'm not aware, Omega. Hey, buddy, how about you throw... Thank you. Hi, Cashew. Sunny, welcome. How do I get better at light intercepts? I'm assuming you mean like from backdrafting, right? Start with mediums, and then just try to replace them with lights. I got a little bit lucky in how perfectly that proved my point. But, like, there you go, right? I do think that's the best way to practice. Oh, I've been hit by Old Man Logan's heavy more times than I am proud of. Yeah, Omega's not wrong. I don't really play Arena anymore, um, because of the combination of my job and this. Like, I get as much MCOC as I want and then some. Um, But Arena can actually be one of the best. Um, Arena can be one of the best tools in the game for getting better if you approach it intentionally. Like when you see people running recoil teams in Arena, obviously that's not really going to teach you much because you win every fight before you have to beat beta special. That's the whole point of running recoil, is that you win every fight before you have to beta special, so you do not have to engage with the opponent at all. But you can learn a lot about a lot of different kits very, very quickly running Arena without recoil. I actually think it's a pretty important thing in most people's developmental processes that a lot of people skip in this game. Frickin' sumo pool. You're not catching me this time, bub. Nice, Aiden. I know exactly what you mean. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sumo pool is awful. Pumped for the weekend? I am indeed. Thanks, Matt. I'm looking forward to it. Domino. Thank you. That was my fault. Oof. Does Absorbing Man work for Domino? There are some challenges to it, as you just saw. You really have to do more of the heavy interrupts to keep your pauses up, but yes. The short answer is yes. Any champs I want most out of the new Titan Crystal? Well, to answer that, I would have to reveal who's in it, Matt. I can't do that. No, I did not, Min. I don't have a quick answer. Yeah, nothing really off the top of my head. I mean, the long answer isn't really going to be an answer. It's more just that, like, with incursions the way they are, I'm not a huge fan of the featured boss concept. Like, it works thematically. From a design perspective, I just don't love it. I feel like the point of incursions is to be random, but not quite as random as it is now. We have some more work to put in there. Okay, hold on. I need to report this one. is funny, man. I do have a say in the frequency of ads, but all I can really do from here is turn them off. um, which I would prefer not to do, bluntly. I do have them set to the lowest frequency out of the auto one. But I apologize about that. Basically, I said incursions should be random, but I think it's a little bit too random right now, and so I think that having a set of bosses that are in every room just doesn't... I knew I was going to get hit by that. Doesn't quite work for me. If that makes sense. Yeah, I can double check real quick. I'm pretty sure I have it set to conservative. I always do. Yep. Incursions is too easy to miss one node and to see if others get roadblocked. I think that's potentially true. I've said before, I think that we need to bring back some of the nodes we cut, but adjusted so that they're not awful. Because right now they kind of are. Ooh, I should have gone for the special 2 because I could have seen what his special 2 looks like when you crit through block. Dang it. Missed opportunity. I find it easier to slow down Walrus. Like, a lot easier. Nothing wrong with practicing it the other way to get that extra second out in Battlegrounds, but... I definitely don't think it's necessary. There we go. Alright. Which champs do I think are the best for the assault role? I haven't tested that many. I know Hulkbuster's good. I would have to pull up the role. I think other people probably have better thoughts on that than I do, Yuki. I tested a lot of characters in an early version of Raids, but the buffs changed quite a bit after that. That's okay. Hmm. Really thought I had that one. Right. I hate the hangover. Don't think it's necessary. If he'd come forward, that would have done it. I don't know what just happened with the inputs there. That was unpleasant. Ugh. There's no wind up on that thing. No, I don't know that. I don't know anyone that did, Aiden. I'm so glad the critical hit on well-timed block thing is getting fixed. It's so stupid. And like I'm not putting that on the designer. I don't know what happened there. It just feels very dumb because that's supposed to be a way that you can get around it. How do you dodge a special one? With a lot of practice. I don't have it down. That's funny, man. Trying not to read that with any tone, Jay, so I'll just respond straight. It's getting worked on. I also thought it would be here by now. My internet died, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay, are we back? It looks like we're back. Sorry, everybody. OBS just cratered there for a minute. All right, let's practice. I could probably do with some better true bleed immunes for this guy. I feel like I'm seeing a bit of a hole. Would I recommend OBS to others? Yeah, it's simple to set up. It works for the most part. There are probably things that I could do better with it. Oh, come on, I hit the special button. Brutal. Alright, well that was a nice closeout. dang it, we're not getting the Fury. Maybe we're gonna kill without it, so it doesn't really matter. But it would have been nice. Hey, Phil, how's it going? That is why I ascended Guardian. Go halfway through. That was really jerkish. Very uncool. Might even say not very cash money of you. Hey, Cyber. Man, are you gonna keep mentioning it? Sorry to be pointed. You just said you're not trying to get me to do something about it, so I don't know what response you want at this point. Yeah, I bet it is, Walrus. He is nuts. Stop running away. Very rude of you. Oh. Hey, Snoops, how's it going? Excuse me. I didn't realize I took him over 2 bars. Clearly I did. Jerk. Finally beat Elden Ring. I do want to go back to it. It is going to happen. I'm just busy. But that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Amon. Nice, Snoops. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Does Guardian's Bleed resistance work? Yes. It's only 80%, but it helps. In general, I think you should probably always, like, you should have a cap on anything unless you have a good reason not to. I realize this is something that I am diametrically opposed on with some other people on my team. There are like schools of design that say you should only cap things when you absolutely are forced to. Instead, your design should impose like elegant soft caps because then you're not obviously interfering with people's fun, right? I understand that, but my time in this game just has me convinced the other way. I think that in general things should have caps. There should be upper limits on just how much you get for most things. Um, I'm trying to think. Like, I believe in some exceptions. I didn't cap Kashala's incinerates, but that's because like that's intentionally something that you push for. It can't be refreshed, and you are like earning every one in other ways, right? There's a lot of gates that can stop it. So to kind of answer your question there, when I feel like I don't need a cap, it's because it's like I want you to chase it going as high as possible, and I'm not worried about abuse. Yeah, and you're correct. Not capping things, I think, generally, like as your default, generally works better in games where you do have more live balancing. I don't know. Do I feel like I want any of these? That's kind of cool. Yeah, why not? Are there other situations, differing schools of thought? Oh yeah, all the time. Don't ask what are they. I'm not going to outline everywhere that I've ever disagreed with my coworkers. But yeah, we're a diverse team with, and I mean diverse in the sense of like our backgrounds, right? Not everybody went to the same school. In my case, not everybody came from the same industry. Not everybody played the same games, felt the same things. We are mostly white men, I will admit. But yeah, we're bound to disagree on things. Yeah, he's been fun, Cyber. I haven't used him enough. He wasn't great in the last meta, but I'm hoping to get some good use out of him this time. Hey, Wolf. Yeah, easy. I don't, Amon. Ah, that stun lasted exactly the wrong amount of time for me. 100% my fault, but annoying nonetheless. Yeah, always, man. We don't throw away all of our documents after 3 months. Hey, John. I mean, I don't think that's a question with an objectively correct answer, Walrus. Because you answered part of it just now yourself. If it lines up correctly. And it looks insane, but it's very concentrated. I think I've said enough now. Like, I don't think it's that bananas to say that I do think we should have tuned Kate's cold snap down. But there is something to keep in mind there that, like, Kate, like Silk, is not the absolute fastest um, BG's champ. She's fast enough given what she can do. But the thing to remember is that there is like a threshold at which fast champions stop being fast enough and you start using other ones. With Silk in particular, because her damage is so concentrated, it's very possible that if she were just tuned a little bit lower, the number of fights she could take in a single rotation would drop off enough that it wouldn't necessarily be worth running her. That kind of thinking is what is a large part of why Kate was left where she was. And I think it was a mistake with Kate because of the other things that she brings to the table. But Silk doesn't have all of the other things Kate does. She has some very powerful tools. But if you break Silk for Battlegrounds nuking, you lose more than if you break Kate. That's the reason that I'm drawing that comparison. Oh, come on, dude. Ugh, this guy. Yeah, I don't know that I agree with that, John. Jerk. Yeah, and that's instantly a red flag, JT. Using Kate for everything was not what I was aiming for. Yeah, you're right, Snoops. Yeah, I'm talking specifically about Battlegrounds there, but even outside of there, like, I did Necropolis runs without the America Chavez synergy. I don't think that's the problem. No, not at all, Snoops. That's I don't use Shocker's heavies outside the context of the special 2 often enough. That's a good thing to be reminded of. Makes sense, Snoops. Easy there, Hellcat. That's a lot of question marks. Ah, yeah, bullseye. I mean, there are a lot of champions that need reworks. I don't think picking one is particularly productive. Does me saying Groot make it any less true for Captain America? Yeah, I hear that, Snoops. If we're including that direction, then yeah, I agree, John. Herc is the character that most needs to be changed out of the game. True enough. Hey, Scheme, welcome back. Yeah, VFX updates don't really do that much, though, do they? Like, they're fun, don't get me wrong. Not going to change who I use. Right. Oscillate. Shouldn't have fought them then. Or shouldn't have hit them then. There we go. Hey, Highline, how's it going? Favorite non-MCOC streamer or YouTuber? I think I can fairly say that. There's a Magic the Gathering podcast I really like, Lords of Limited. Um, and I like both of them, but I will specifically shout out one of them, Lord Tupperware. Um, he is also a Carnegie Mellon alum who has moved into gaming from the arts, basically. So that resonates with me. Good luck. Good luck, Matt. Right? She does that whenever she misses. Okay, we're gonna have to be a little more careful about that. That's okay. 3 of these will do. Take care, Aiden. Never gonna be a frame rate update? You mean like going up from 30 frames per second? I wouldn't rule it out. That's a pretty major undertaking, though. Do I watch any content on YouTube that isn't gaming related? I have in the past. I don't really at the moment. Yeah, not really. I listen to non gaming podcasts and read non gaming news, but YouTube is mostly for gaming for me. Most overkill I've done in a while. Yeah. Nothing against it, and I'm not saying that's correct. That's just kind of the habit I've fallen into. Have I seen my Hmm. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to line up. How'd our war go? Um, like, well, overall, the Alliance did well. I did not. You'll see. It's fine, but yeah, not my best opener. Any plans to try Suicide Squad? Not really, honestly. And it's nothing against it or the genre. I just have a very long backlog of games. I often don't play the brand new ones. The fact that I'm playing Devil May Cry at all, like the live stream on the other day, is about as much as I can do there. Yeah, I'd love to see Psylocke get an update too. She's just one of those that's very, very difficult to update. I honestly don't really consume much of that, Min, so I can't answer that question at all. Anyone familiar with the PC game Oregon Trail? Certainly wasn't my intro to gaming. I have heard the tales from yesteryear, though. I loathe live service games. You know where you are, right, Cashew? But yeah, I fully understand the needing to bounce off of Last of Us. I haven't played it, but I know enough about the premise. There are plenty of shows in the past where I have needed breaks. Honestly, this team is fine. Let's just do it. I understand the irony. I meant like Destiny. I do get what you mean. Um, it is a genre that's very easy to get wrong. That's for darn certain. Usurpation with stylish is a cool idea. I like this. I don't know why I did that, but Karnax did anyway. Yeah, like the apologies if I repeat myself. If that ever happens, it's just because I had a thought that was very clear in my head, and I'm not sure if it actually made it out my mouth. However, what I was going to say was I played an Avatar The Last Airbender game that, like, as soon as I started, I was like, this feels just a little bit cheap. Like, I recognize things from the genre that feel a little hacked together. There's cool things in here, so I can tell somebody working on it cares. But it just felt a little bit corporate. And so when it shuttered its servers within a year, and all of the people who had become whales on that game because they really cared about the IP were very sad and upset, I felt for them, but there was also a part of me that was like, saw that coming. And yeah, that is the genre at its worst. Trombone man. I also sang. I guess I still sing, but I don't practice in front of a piano quite as much anymore. Ouchie, you jerk. Do I like using Cassie? I think mine's only rank 3. I just haven't gotten a lot out of her. She's good and she's fun, but it is kind of one play style, which is fine because I definitely use champions that are exactly as much one play style. Um, I don't know. She's fun every time I've played her, but in a way that like hasn't really had me itching to come back, if that makes any sense. She's a very good clean design. I don't know why I did that. Did my middle school band also make me choose between band and choir? Yes. I joined choir my senior year of high school, and I had to take a class in summer school to make room for it. And it also meant that my GPA actually went down since both choir and band, even though I was in the top one for both, were level courses. So I very much like singing, but I was late to it. Guessing I was a bass? No, I'm actually a high baritone, believe it or not. Nice, Snoops. Yeah, like I have some low notes. I often sang bass in choir. Um, like especially in high school choir, right? A developed baritone who can actually access their range can try out for bass too and do pretty well in all state. But no, I'm most comfortable as a baritone, and especially when I was like really in shape. Um, Baritone arias felt great in my voice. I love that stuff. Take care, Cashew. Yeah, Professor X has fantastic animations for sure. Yeah, I hear you, Snoops. Start with trombone and add in the piano later. Oh, I do not consider myself a piano player. Do not put that on me. Um, I only know enough piano to play like vocal warm ups to help with my mouthpiece stuff when I play trombone, and to like not be completely lost when I compose at the piano. I am not a piano player. When you go to college for music, they make you take a year of piano, but it's only a year and it's class piano, and it's like you're with 20 other people at 8 a.m. on a Friday, and it's. Yeah. Not a whole lot sticks. Jeez. Did you see him dash back and then? Oh my god. That is hilarious. Should have reported that one. My school is both a music and music education major, and the only major with a similar number of required credits to graduate is engineering. Yeah, music was heavy. Um, Very heavy. I I took a couple classes without registering for them sophomore year because I paid a bit extra freshman year. Because if you wanted to do anything else on top of your music degree, you were just instantly maxed. What do you mean specifically there, Allison? Are you talking about the re-parry issue where they hit you after your double medium, or are you just finding it difficult to get them to block in the first place? Because I can understand both, but I'm trying to figure out where you're coming from. Grew up singing in church, didn't realize how much I enjoyed it. By the time I did, it was because I was looking for a random elective. I hear you there, man. Some of my oldest memories are singing in the car with my brother. He joined choir earlier than I did, um, but still later than he probably would have wanted to. Right. I was like, why does he have more power? It's because I keep crossing two bars. That's fine. We'll finish it off. Yeah. Okay. That description is kind of what I was expecting because I agree. That is something that is one of my personal priorities for the AI. They're just way too freaking good at light intercepting you right now. Nice, Wolf. Where are you headed? It sounds very annoying, Sans, but also kind of funny because I feel like that is never true of the nebulas I face. Every single time I have decided to risk it and fight a nebula with a robot, the first thing they do is back up and hold block and get three charges. And 20 seconds later, they do it again. Yeah, I hear you, Allison. There are ways to make it safer, but most of them are time consuming, and you didn't need to use them 6 months ago. I'm on the same page. Wow, that is close. Watch this be like the one 6-star I don't have so that I don't get the dupe. Okay. Nice, easy. I hope they're fast enough that that works for you. I understand that as well, Snoops. I stuck out a little bit in the choir I was in. Even though I had some very close friends, wasn't quite the same. That's not as good as an Overseer or a Sasquatch dupe would have been, but I'm not upset about that. What's really funny is this is what my 7-star science look like. Before this, the only dupe I had was out of a Titan crystal when I pulled Ham twice. Absolutely insane. Nobody else is duped. Hey, Misty, how's it going? Take care. Okay, so this is when you get the fatigues, and it's a flat 50%. So that instantly makes him better on defense. And then the pause is more offensive. Okay. He might be worth taking to rank 2 if I don't dupe somebody else before we get there. I'm of course hoping for her out of these Titans I'm sitting on, but we'll see what happens. I wonder how long it'll be to the next Titan. I guess if nothing else comes out, it's likely to be the next war season. Yeah, because if we get top 10 again, then that takes me most of the way there, and then I'll probably pick up some incidental. That seems about right. Yeah, Ant-Man is poison and shock immune. Very important things to keep in mind for battlegrounds. Buff rewards are needed. For War, War's in a pretty good spot. War got a upgrade recently. Battlegrounds, I think it's about time. Um, I also am quite confident that when Battlegrounds gets buffed, we're still going to get a whole bunch of people saying that it's not enough, and I'm already over it. Let's see. AQ is fine because Glory just got updated and raids just came out. Necropolis had certain things covered. The next story content will be 8.4, which is the end of an act, so that'll be juicy enough. Arena doesn't need a buff. So then it'll probably be maybe incursions. I guess there is one coming up. We'll see. Yeah, I do think it's time with BGs. Like, I don't think BGs is necessarily in a dire place, but I think it's time. Like, this is outdated. I'm not saying these should all necessarily be 7-star shards, but I think some of them probably should be. I'm less concerned with the rank rewards. They're honestly okay. We could definitely replace or like increase the 7-star shard yields in some of these, but those don't really bother me. It's more the milestones there that I think need some help. This could get a bit better. And then it's time for the store to get some help, is I think where I land. Yeah, the sigil is outdated for sure. The thing is that the best part of the sigil isn't outdated. Because the best part of the sigil is this right here, and that got buffed when Valiant came out, right? And this is absolutely incredible. Like, you cannot look me in the face or look me in the eye and tell me that all of this 4 times a month is not worth $10, because it is. The store is obviously outdated, but the thing about the store is that, like, it's a little bit difficult to navigate if you're not super engaged in the game. It's hard to know how good the trades are and what's worth doing. It all requires some foresight. And so updating the store would be amazing for people like me. Um but it wouldn't necessarily be as good for everybody. And so that puts it a little bit lower priority than something like improving Battlegrounds, which a huge chunk of people play. Wish T4 Alpha was weekly from rank rewards. Are you meaning from a QAmon? Seven-star Awakening Geminacti. I'm saying they should all be 7-star shards. Not at that amount. That won't happen. They could all be 7-star shards, but they would definitely be tuned down a little bit from those numbers. But I wouldn't complain about that. Okay, hopefully I'll get most of these when I do level 4. I'm not going to do that today. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, that's not bad. Hopefully that helps me get another tier 2 class alloy, because I have a Celestial in Overflow, and I need to rank up one of my 6-star relics. Ooh, you're close. What am I missing for you? Ooh, I literally could do that. Probably not that one, though. I'll probably take up Storm. Cool. Good to know that that's close. Oh, I know, easy. But that's exactly what I was saying. Like, if you look at the Black ISO market, like, this is good. This has been updated pretty recently. This is good. This is fine. None of us are ever going to use that. This is okay. I do often buy that. These are fine. The problem is that you like never really get the lower level potions anymore, and so that's not as important. Yeah, I think it's probably time for trade-ins for these, like that are better than just selling them. But that's kind of the thing is that when you go through here, like it's not immediately obvious that this is a deal. Like, if anything, this should have, like, this is an improvement of blah over if you just sell this, right? So that it's very clear how much extra you are getting by trading everything in. I think that's the biggest thing that the store needs is just more communication, and then you want to update it. But yeah, it obviously needs help, right? I don't know. The sigil needs more than that. Because it's just not obvious to casual players how good the sigil is. Anywho, I'm starting to repeat myself. Thank you all for hanging out. Good conversation as always. I'm going to go play Hades a little bit before I go to bed. I'm also going to record a war video so that that goes out tomorrow before the live stream. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good one.